Welcome to this video. Thank you for tuning in and sharing in this now moment with myself and with one another. If you haven't seen these videos before, welcome. Welcome back if you have. My intention is unity and oneness. I'm just going to go into a little flow. And as the structures fall, all structure, all surety, all that has been butting up against each other is now rebooting. We recognize that there was much instability in a false sense of security, for we were wearing a security blanket for eons. This security blanket had us on lockdown, so to speak. We are being invited to recognize that we are the ones, the key holders, the ground keepers. We are the gatekeepers. We are the grid makers, the map makers. We are providing the spoiler alert. I'm seeing like, spoiler alert, this is what's going to happen. For we are the key holders, and we are no longer on lockdown unless we perceive it as such, for our perception is being received through the, I'm seeing airwaves, architecture, and we're being reminded that this blanket has been lifted. And I'm seeing this reference to the veil has been lifted. So let us not try to make sense of something that was never sensible before. So basically what they're showing is like, picture you've had rose-colored glasses on this whole time and they've been really, really, really heavy. But there's been a film over them. So it looked a certain way. That's been removed and we're like, wow, that feels so light. But at the same time, now we're seeing everything, like how everything is so interconnected and how we did have the wool, so to speak, pulled over our eyes, but we're being invited to not be so rigid about from our perspective. We're being invited not to make judgments about what we're seeing now comparable to what we were seeing when we had those glasses on. Because what's happening is everything is based on our perspective and our perception. So that whole thing, perception is everything. How we perceive things going on, we're telling our body how to respond. We're telling our friends and family how to respond. And if we are blasting each other in a rigidity, in a density, this does not allow then for the expansiveness that's really going on to penetrate our walls of defense, so to speak. So we're being invited to recognize that we hold the key to that. And while we may feel that we are on lockdown, we are certainly not locked down. We are only holding down the boots on the ground. We are the light keepers, the lighthouse keepers. We are rulers of the house. How will we rule our house? Will it be with force, or will we be the force? Meaning, I made this reference the other day, are we going to be the young Skywalkers that are angry and emotional and passionate, which is okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Are we then going to allow ourselves to let go of that, integrate it, and become the masters embodied, and recognize that not everything is as it seems? There is still things going on behind the scenes. As the seams are pulled apart, we are getting glimpses of the reality behind the reality, much like the Matrix. And as these seams fall apart, there becomes a seamless interaction that is seemingly complicated, but it isn't. And this is a reference to, we're getting a lot of downloads from the sun. We're getting a lot of uploads from the earth. We're getting a lot going on. And it really is, the more we can be an ebb and flow, move with the waves, not butt up against them and fight the current, the more we recognize, oh, we are receiving. I am receiving with gratitude all of the love, light, and abundance that the universe has to offer. I receive this with gratitude and I share it with my brothers and sisters. Just stop to check in with the body, get into those affirmations, recognize that we are clearing our own stuff, clearing for each other as a collective, assisting Mother Earth in clearing. And in all of this, we are expanding. So it feels wonky, and that's okay. And again, it's okay to be the Luke Skywalker, but not forever. There comes a point where we have to really recognize that just because we see things as one way doesn't mean that's really what's going on. Whew. So I'm just going to allow these energies to come through. We are newly unified in more ways than many can imagine. For the forces that are working together are so expansive that it can be challenging at times to recognize that. For we are in the process of recognizing ourselves. We are in the process of reorganizing our senses. We are in the process of reorganizing our sentences. This is a play on words, like I'm hearing prison sentences, right? Opening up the bars, opening up the bandwidths, but also how we communicate. For how we communicate with everything is key. And as we recognize that we are holding the key of anarchy, so to speak, another play on words, arcing, arc of the government. Lots of plays on words here. Covenant government. We invite you to open. Let go of the need to feed the machine. This is a habitual pattern. This is a habit pattern that has been fed to us, that we have been used to as a collective. This will not pass. I'm hearing you shall not pass any longer. For we are growing longer and longer and longer in our, I'm hearing attributing, atreyu, a tributary, like a longitudinal wave, implosion. For as we recognize that we are crossing a bridge and also see the other side, recognize that we have already crossed this bridge, yet it seems and would appear that we have not made it yet. Yet we are making it. We are making this seemingly horrific. I'm seeing misquoted, mystified, mystifying, quantified. Recognize that what you are feeding into is not the truth. For there is no full 100% accuracy. For there are many timelines that you are dipping your toes into, so to speak. They're showing me people that are dipping their like they're listening to the media, and then they're listening to this person, and they're listening to that person, and the messages get back to here. That's always the message, isn't it? Dip our toes in the cool waters of the earth. Dip our toes into the messages of rebirth. Dip our fingertips into the paint, into the ink welling up inside that wishes to express, that wishes to sink into a new accordance. I'm seeing like a new Bill of Rights. I'm seeing like all of this stuff being rewritten. Do not be afraid to explore the roots of who you really are. Do not be afraid to explore the foundational aspects of who you thought you were, and pay attention to what rings true now. For as you look back on the rings of a tree, we recognize that it makes up many timelines. For that tree encompasses all of those rings. Yet there are certain things in our reality that no longer rings true. For we are mixing it up. We are in a completely shifted, changed, new phase of development. Let us phase out with grace. Let us phase into grace. Let us use this as a grace period, a period of grace where we grace one another with our presence, with our ability to stay present, to recognize that we are being gifted with this present on earth as we unpackage that which has been hidden. I'm hearing right under our noses. Take the time, this moment, to stop and smell the roses, for they hold the truth, the spiral, the scent, the extra sentient truth. Let us allow all that is not in alignment with Mother Nature, that is not in alignment with Mother Nurture, that is not in alignment with what we know to be the truth, which is goodness, kindness, naturalness, love, bliss, appreciation, forgiveness, gratitude, full freedom of expression, compassion. Come back in to the passion of this crysted frequency that is being gifted to us now, moment to moment to moment in this moment. Do not be afraid to smell the roses. Do not be afraid to unplug from an electronic source of depravity, thriving on your depression, thriving on your, I'm seeing many different words coming through right now. What I'm seeing is it's pulling in these energies, and then it's telling us how to express. Let it go. Have fun. Dance, write, draw, connect with the earth. And I send you love and light. Namaste.